Okay, so welcome to the class on income and social classes. This is chapter 11. So we are almost done for the CB class. We have three chapter left. So this one is going to be the one a group of last four, and this is the first one. So it's jump from the one that we have learned for a long time. It's like the first time we learn on the chapter one, we learn introduction, we learn individuals. For now, we move to the decision making, and then today it's like the environment around us is not mainly for the individuals, but it's for the things that around you. So here are the topics that is one of the most uh, interesting thing because it's very close to you and it actually affects directly to your consumptions. So today I would like to present you guys on the topics of the income and the social class. Okay. 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 Then, so what is the objective for this chapter is first, not just the personal conditions, but it's also social conditions that we just talk because personal condition is about perceptions, decision makings, but it's not just like that. It's also had the social condition, including the social class and income. They influence how we spend the money. For example, if you have very high society, like the social class of your is very high, so you're gonna spend the money into some specific product instead of the product that you just normal consume. But if you have lower than a very high social class, you might concern a little more things on the living, the food, the products that you need to use, not just luxury products like the high society people. So see, different social class, different consumptions, and also income. If you have lots of money and you are rich or affluent, so you might not concern about the money you're gonna pay a lot. But if you are the middle income or low income, every single baht, or in US we're gonna use dollars. Every single dollars that you're gonna use, you need to concern, especially for this time. So again, it's not just only you as individual for making the decision, but for now, environment around you, like the social conditions, also affect directly to your money and how you spend about the money. Then we group consumer into the social class, and let's say about what we're what we stand in the society. So we mostly assume that if you have the same social class, you're gonna have some activities, some preference, some leisure time, some lifestyle. That's almost the same because you have set with the frame of the social class. We're gonna talk about that later. Then the last objective for this chapter is a person desire to make a statement about the social class. For example, if you want to present to the other people, you are rich people, you are socialized people, so you need to use some brand name products like Gucci bag or just Louis Vuitton bag like that. Or maybe you for guys you will present Lorex watch, drive the BMW car or Mercedes-Benz in order to let the other people know who you are and what class that you are in. But be careful, it's not actually what you have seen. Because some people just present to the other people, but actually they are not. Just pretend to be. So be careful about that. We're gonna talk about this one in maybe a couple slides before we closing these chapters. Then, why we concerned? Because the social class that you are in is actually the influence with the product that you're gonna like or dislike. For example, if you have middle class people, if you are the middle class people, you might not like the luxury products, or even you are very low class, like low type in the social class. So you might not like to be rich because it's do feel like it's gonna spend a lot of money and it's not quite good to present that one to the other people. So here are all objectives that we're gonna talk today. So let's get started with the first one. Consumer spending and economics behaviors. So it's actually we need to concern not just your decisions, not just your preference, but actually the decision making that you're gonna make is also linked to the general economics condition. So economics condition is actually the money that you can use. So the way that you can spend the money is different in terms of you have different economic condition. For example, if you are rich people, you might not think a lot about paying something because it's okay, you have enough money. But for some people who don't have much money like that, or even sometimes according to these situations on the COVID-19 pandemic, so you feel like you need to save the money. But it's not the same as the rich people that this might feel this is okay, so who care? But trust me, the situation that we confront has been changed for a long time, forever, for the consumption. So please keep thinking about the effects of COVID-19 in the consumer's behaviors. Then, a person's social class impact what he or she does with money and how consumption choice reflect the place in the society. So again, if you are rich people, you classify yourself as the high society. So you spend the money without maybe without thinking or just think a little bit. But some people who are lower class, they concerns a lot about the money that they're gonna have in each month, how they gonna set the money for paying the house, for paying the car, or even the living. Especially if you have the family that you need to take care. So the way that you spend the money is different. And also, if you are the middle class, you go to some party, but you might not feel like you're gonna make it big or just luxuries. So you just go for the relationship, not just for luxury aspect. And then the product that we can use also represent the status symbol that we're gonna talk about this later. But for now, status symbol is the item that show you how you spend the money and who you are in the society. It's like that. Then the discretionary income. So this is a term that I think most of you know the meaning of income, but discretionary is mean the money that's available for spending. So they said the money that is available that is left. So that means if you have the allowance or monthly payment, then you need to use to the other people and to do something else. But the money that you have left is the things that you need to concern. That is discretionary. So the money that you have left for spending, investing, saving, after paying the tax or paying the personal necessaries, such as good food products, shelter, and clothing, like for necessary things that you need to have, including the medicines that you need to have too. So again, discretionary income is this actually availability of the money that you have for spending the things that you need to do or you need to have. So that is the discretionary. Sorry, I need to drink the water as well. Okay, then as we just talked from the previous slide, the economic conditions affects us a lot on how we spend the money. So because it's linked to the attitude, okay, let's talk like this way. if you have the money, remember the attitude on the chapter, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6. We concern, sorry, we concern a lot about the attitude and how attitude change. But for now, in different perspective, the attitude that we concern right now is about the attitude for paying the money. So there are two type of the people who gonna be for paying the money. First one, tightwad. Tightwad is mean tight is mean very tight or very um linked, don't have enough space like that. So tightwad is mean you hate to pay the money because it's gonna you're gonna feel very painful because it's mean you're gonna lose the money. So you every time that you pay something, you're gonna feel hurt about yourself. But spendthrift, spendthrift is the other terms. Is a very opposite because spendthrift is actually you enjoy spending. So this is like different side. So if you feel pain when you pay something because you think you're gonna lose the money, you are the tightwad type. But if you have enough money and you spend the money very easy, like everything you want, you're gonna pay for it. So this is spendthrift. But we also have something that we need to understand, which is the differences between frugalities and also Taiwanism. So Taiwan, so we know about Taiwan already. So Taiwan again, it's about both of them is about the saving. You save the money, but Taiwanism is driven by you feel pain when you pay. But frugality is about saving, but you feel happy. So you feel like you need to collect the money for the future. So you are happy to do that. But the Taiwan is mean you when you paying for saving, you feel is hurt because it's, it seems like your money kind of flies from your wallet like that. So this is also a different side. It's also about saving the money, but saving the money with happiness. It is frugality. But for Taiwanism, it's about painful. Okay. So they have some study on the department store in USA. The name which is Walmart. Walmart study on the attitude toward the money in terms of the brand name. So they make the conclusion from the study, which is we have three types of the attitude toward the brand names. The first one we call brand aspirationals. So brand aspirational is about the attitude toward the brand. Like people who have low income, who obsess mean who keep their attitude to the name of the product. Like mostly this type is gonna be the name that is linked to something like here kitchen 8. So kitchen 8 is being help. So the product in the series of the kitchen 8 is gonna be on this category brand aspirational. Or the some example that gonna be quite close to us is Save. I forgot the name. The house brand of the Tesco Lotus. Save Pack, something like that. So this is the brand name which link to the meanings of the brand. Then when you listen and when you read that brand name, so you feel like this is gonna be good for uh, again, because they concern a lot about low income, because most of the brand aspirational is the people who have low income, and that is going to be very cheap products. Or in the pictures we have cool fever, but the spelling is not COOL, it's K. So cool fever is actually the product that we can use for reduce the temperatures when you have the fever. So use know the brand name cool. Even it's not C, it's K, but you know what is it. So this is the meanings behind the brand name, and this is brand aspirational. Next one, price sensitive affluent. So price sensitive affluent. which means this group of people have the attitude to the brand name in terms of they are wealthier, like they have more money than low income, but they love the deals. So these people compare between profits and loss, but they love having the good deals, like 50% off or buy one get one free, like that. So this group of people have the attitude on that one. Last one. This is a group who have low income, but they concerned about value price shopper. So, which mean they said they like the low price, but the low price is the choice that they cannot make because they cannot pay for it anymore. What is the difference between the first and the third one? The first one, they focus on the brand and the meaning, but the last one, they focus on the price. So they gonna use they gonna have the good attitude to the products that have the lowest price because they feel like it's safe for them. So they're not concerned about the brand name or the name of the brand about meaning, but they're concerned about the price only. Okay. And then consumers confidence. So we need to have this one because confidence is about you feel good to do something. Like you feel free, you feel brave. So this is actually behavioral economics. Or in sometimes we talk in terms of economic psychology. So it's actually the study on the human's side in terms of economics conditions or decision. So like you're gonna make decision in terms of economics or the money that you have or the the money that you would like to maintain. So, what is actually the consumer's confidence? So, it's actually a measures of how you have positive or negative attitude or negative thinking. So, optimistic is positive, pessimistic is the negative. About the future economies and how you're gonna predict the economics condition. So, it's actually influence how much the money that we're gonna use. So I just talk the consumer confidence is actually the psychological things about the economics. So it's linked to your decisions on you're gonna pay for it or not pay for it. So this is how we need to concern because it's about your perception and the attitude of the consumption. If you have the positive side, you tend to be optimistic, but pessimistic is the negative side or the dark side, um, the payment, because it's also linked to how you need to pay for or what is the plan for the future that we can use for predict the economic condition. They said why we need to concern about the consumer's confidence because it's actually linked to our saving rate. So, what is the factor that linked to the saving rate? First one, pessimism and also optimism. So, pessimism is about you concern about the dark side or the negative side, but optimistic is like positive thinking. So, about personal circumstance, for example. Some people have a positive thinking about life. They're gonna spend their life for doing the things that they want. This is the positive side. So they did not concern about saving rate. They did not concern about saving the money. They just do whatever they want to do. But if you have pessimism, pessimism is going to focus on you concerned about the futures, but it might have some situation that's going to be bad for you. So this is on the negative thinking. Negative thinking is not mean it's bad, but it's it's linked to the terms of you concern what gonna happen and then you plan for it. Like for COVID-19, it's not solved yet, completely solved, no. But you need to save the money for the future. It might be problem. Like for this time, we actually have a third wave, and the number of the infected people increase a lot. Then were events, recessions or pandemic. So if we have recessions, a pandemic or war, so the concern or saving rate gonna be increased. Then cultural difference is affects directly to the attitude and to the saving. So for Asian culture, we have especially for Japanese and Chinese, we have the attitude or the saving because we need to collect the money for the future. We think like that. But for American do not feel like that. They they enjoy their life. So the saving rate, the saving concern is not the big deal for them. Then social class structures. Why we need to concern about social class structures? Because you need to admit one thing before we're talking about this one because not all people are the same. Actually, I said it is impossible that all people are the same rank. So we have different social class. We have high social class, middle social class, and low social class. So social class means overall rank of the people in the society. So in some community or in some culture, we're gonna have set the class already. In the past of Thailand, we have the social class like king. Um, I forgot the name. We have the political system in the past, and categories people into four group. King. I quite not sure about that. What they call doctor. Oh no no. The person who have link about religions, and the doctor is third one, and the last one is gonna be the normal people. So we can classify in four rank. This also happened in India. I couldn't sure about it. For now they have it or not, but in the past it's the same system. And why we concerned about the social class? Because social class is determined by income, family background, and occupation. So all three things can link directly to the social class. Like if you have high income, your social class going to be high. The family background, if you was born in the royal society, so you're gonna be the high social class. If your occupation is pretty good, like you are the doctor, so you're gonna be in the high social class. So why social class is important? Because the same social class is actually refer or infer to approximately equal social standing. So if you have the same social class, you're gonna have same place in the society like that. So it says similar occupation tend to have similar lifestyle. I would say is very true, especially when you have time. The activity that you're gonna do is almost the same. Like for the business guys, they're gonna play golf, they gonna do something that they like in the same. Then we try to marry the people to have in the same social class, and that tendency the sociologists call homogamy. So, but I have some explanation why they like each others because if you have the same social class, you train to think the same thing. You train to like the same thing. And if you have that idea, that means you can share more things together. So that is the reason why they are couple. They can link very easy. Okay, sorry. This night is pretty hot. So in terms of the social class that we just talked, we have different level, but in reality, not just humans have the rank, but animals also have the rank as well. They said picking order. Picking is mean you use some force to fight, then you can see the level that you are in. So picking order is mean the hierarchy status among the member in one group. that originally observed in the animals like hen. So the hen's gonna fight and see who are the leaders. And if you lose, that's fighting. You're gonna be lower than the leader. Okay, so this is how the animal judge the level. The same thing. We can think about that. We can apply that theories to the reality. So in our society, we have the social stratification. So social stratification is actually the artificial level that we have in the society. But we make it real, but it's just not quite uh, clear. So we have different level, but the boundary of different level is not quite clear because actually it's just the setting. So that is the reason why we call the artificial divisions of the in the society. But why we have the rank? The main reason is actually we have limited of the resource. Not all, not all people are the same. I said no people are the same. We have different level in terms of different things like income, education, lifestyle. So very different in the society. So they said unequally to status position. So it's actually true because we have very limited of the resource. If you have more resource, you can be rich people in terms of the money. But if you have less resource, you're gonna be classified by the other people as the low class like that. So when we're talking about the social stratification, we can talk about these two words. First one is achieve status. Second one is ascribe status. So the status that you have in the society is made from two root. First one, if you work hard for having something, so you can classify yourself as achieve status because you work hard, you do something, you you pay more attention to have a good job or having the better education. So your status right now is the achieve status. But if you was born in the family that who are rich, so or in this lecture they said born with silver spoon in the mouth, that means you was born with the money or with the wealth of your economy. So it seems like you are rich by yourself. So we call ascribe status. They said status hierarchy, even they have the level, but it's actually they can move. So status hierarchy, sometimes you can have the status with more authority, more power, or more respect. Think about this one. I did not say that's bad, but it's actually happened. If you was born in the royal family, you have more power, you have more respect, you have more authority. Or if you was born in the family that who are the doctors for a long time, or who serve the country as the soldier for a long time, your family, your status is going to be more authority, more power, and more respect. Then I just talked about the movement of the social class. So sometime, like for example, if you are the royal family, then you marry with the normal girl, then your status is going to be moved down. So we call it the downward mobility. So losing the social status is called downward. But if uh, if you move from lower place to the higher place, this is upward. But sometimes if you move from one position to another position, but it's the same level because horizontal mobility, or not just move up or move down, just um, on the horizontal level, like back, right, and left, like that one. So again, horizontal mobility is the movement of one position to the other position, but it's the same level. They said most of the people remain in the social class Like in the past, if for Thailand, if you was classified to be the doctor, so your family is most of the doctor contain most of the doctor. That means the social class of your family gonna be almost the same for next generation. But we can change. So the easiest way is you marry with someone who are richer, and then you can move to the higher or upward mobility. I wouldn't say that's good. I wouldn't say that's bad, but it depends. Depends on the person who you gonna marry. Then here are example in America. So in America, around 13, no, around 14% is classified as the upper American or the highest class, but around 70% classified as the middle American or middle class, but the rest of them going to be lower class. So most of the American are middle class, a C. So you can have about middle class and working class, which means you're gonna have white collar. So white collar is the person who work at the office in the office because the collar is gonna be clean. But for the blue collar is the person who work hard, like in the labor's intensive work, like working in the factory or working as the labor. So they are classified as the middle class. The same thing. In Thailand, the middle class is a lot too. So we, I think most of the country around the world have the most part is gonna be middle class because this class gonna be a majority for work. If you are rich, so you're gonna be upper class, but if you are poor, don't have some economic conditions, gonna be classified as the lower class. Then, interesting thing, they said class structures around the world is not the same as well. So we have some case from around the world. First one in China. So especially for the middle class, they concern about Nike brand as the symbol of success. So when they use the Nike products, they feel like they good. Have the success. They are successful in their life like that. Then, how about women in Japan? So they said Japan women, Japanese women, they concern a lot about the brand, but specifically on if they are single and working women, so they can spend the money on the luxuries products. So, but if they have the family, it's different. But if they not married yet, then they gonna concern a lot about the brand name on the luxury products. But it's different to the Middle Eastern women. So the women in Middle Eastern part of the world, they concern a lot about shopping, but they shopping with their family and friends. But they kind of concern about the brand name as well. So that means Middle East women, they also love shopping, but the shopping is need to link with the family and friends. Then England. Actually, England have very strong hierarchy or strong level, but for now it's changed. So the marketing right now they concern a lot about targeting on the lower class. So I kind of sure about that one, but mostly they might see something, some potential on focusing for the lower class as a group that they need to concern. Okay, then how about India? India is also the country that have the class structures. Then they said economy is booming. Many poor, but they want to be just let the other people know that they are rich. So that's been the reason why I wrote here many poor but rich. So you you use some product in order to present yourself because that is symbol like the first uh, part of these chapters. They said India have the influence from the Western culture that is you need to present yourself that you are rich. So that is the reason why they prefer to use the brand name product and also the credit card. But the bad thing is they don't have enough money. So India also the country that is quite not rich country because they have lots of people and people also perceive the brand name product is good too. Then component of the social class. So one of the major that's it. When you think about the social class, it can be used as many factors like income, occupation, and education, right? But for now, we can focus the first one, occupational prestige, or about the job that they are doing. So they said people judge the people according to the job that they are doing. That is correct. For example, in the past, if you are worker of the bank, many people feel, oh, you are good, you did a good job. But for now, bankers is not okay because for now we can do this transaction online, and also they has been forced to have more consumers for the assurance. That is bad too. They said this is how people evaluate their worth. For example, I talk many times because that is actually true in our society. We believe that if you are a doctor, you are going to be high class, and also you have a good job, you have a good money. Okay, and occupation is actually stable over the time and similar across the culture. Trust me, if we talk about doctor, many countries believe on that job. And actually, it is a single base indicator for the social class. In other terms, if you want to say some person about the social class, you're going to talk about the occupation. Link to use the free times, the family resource, the preference on the aesthetic preference, and also the political orientation, the political perception. So it's actually, again, people in the same social class, they tend to have the same preference, the same activity, the same perception. So they said, from example of the social class in terms of the occupation is like the top rank is going to be CEO, doctor, university professor. So they are classified as the high social class. Then lower rank, so is lower than the middle. So the job that they concern or that thing is shoe shiner, digger, the person who collect the dirty things, uh, garbage collector, collect the trash, collect the garbage from the trash. No, the trash from the garbage. Sorry. So again, the key point for this page is actually the job that you're doing is actually present or represent the social class that you have. So we just finished the occupation. The next one is income. So what before we go into the detail, we need to make sure that you understand that income. Oh, sorry, money and class is not the same. Is not the same meaning because money is the other thing. Class is also the other thing. But the thing that we need to concern, which is the distribution of the wealth. So they said the group have the greatest buying power and market potential. When you want to see the potential of the consumers, please think about how they gonna spend the money. So in other terms, they said how money is spent is more influence than the class on the class than income. So again, how you spend the money is more influenced on the class more than income. So class have more uh, influence in terms of how you spend the money than income. So if you have the high class society, so how you spend is pretty easy. But if you have lower than that, you're gonna think a lot about it. So they said the way that we spend our money is more telling than how much we spend. So again, between the way that you spend and how much we spend. So we concern a lot the way that you spend more because that is actually the attitude and the buying power. So if you have a lot of money, but how much that you spend is gonna be very little. So we did not think it is very huge impact. So but how you spend is more impact. People need money to obtain a good product and express the taste of your. That is correct because you're gonna use some product to represent the self and your identity. So from this page, it's actually the marketer. Many marketers just gets confused and concerned just for the income. But for me, I would ask you to think about the social class and also how what is the way that they spend the money is going to be much more important than the money that they're going to pay. Again, the way that they spend is more important than how much that they're going to pay. Okay. Then predicting on consumer behavior. So we just talk about social class, income. Then it's coming up to this question: how both of them are important. So I would say both of them are important, but the things that you need to concern is actually they said whether social class or income is better prediction of the consumer behavior, but it depends on the type of product. So uh, social class and income, both of them are important, but important in terms of the type of the products. If you concern a lot about the social class, the type of product that you need to think is about the symbolic purchase, but focus mainly on lower on or moderate price. So the price is not too high, but it's gonna present the symbolic purchase. It's gonna present something. So some example is like cosmetic and liquor or the alcoholic beverage that you drink. So it's not expensive, but it's showing something to the other people. And how about income? Income gonna be best predictor for non-static and non-symbolic products like electronic devices, instrument, or the products that you normally use. So this one is not need to have the social class to be concerned, but they think about income. Okay, last one. Sometimes some product you need to concern both of them because it's also present your identity and also it's linked to the money that you're going to pay. So if social class and income are the better predictor, it's going to be very expensive product and symbolic product. So in this case it's like car and home because both of them link to the social class that you are in and also the income. For example, if you would like to the other people who see you are rich, so you might buy the house from the area that we have a lot of rich people. Then you need to have the income that gonna pay for that house every month as well. Okay, so this is how both social class and income can be the predicting factors for the consumer behaviors. Then let's talk about consumers' point of view on luxury products. So luxury product is actually the product that might not necessary, but it's it might link to some um, meaning of your life. Like, for example, first one, luxury in terms of functional. So functions, again, function is for use. So some products that is luxury but is used for some purpose, like things that will last and have enduring value. It's like the wedding rings that you're gonna have to show that you are couple. You have some people who talk to like that. Luxury is the reward. Sometimes some people use the luxury product as the reward for their achievement. Like if you work hard all year, then you're gonna buy the very expensive product to yourself. Last one, luxury is indulgent. Indulgent that means satisfaction or happiness. Some people use the luxury product in terms of making they feel satisfactions or happy for their choice, or it's maybe about emotion. So they said illustrate that individuals take on emotional approach to luxury spending. So I would say, let's think about women. Women gonna have luxury product in terms of indulgence is gonna be like the diamond necklace, or for guys gonna have the car like that one. So this is the luxury goods for indulgence. So again, luxury can have three things. So functional, reward, and indulgence. Taste culture. So different cultures have different taste. Taste culture also differentiate the things that can use for differentiate people in terms of the aesthetics, the preference on the art, and intellectual's preference, the preference in terms of the thinking. So they can classify like this example. We have upper and upper middle class. So you have the middle class and upper and upper. That's in more than middle class. Mostly they would like to visit the museum and the live theater. Though they would like to have some activity in terms of the learning. But for the middle class, they did not want to have that knowledge. They just want to go to have camp, fishing, or doing adventurous activities. See, different level of the social class also linked to some different of the activities and also leisure time. Here are also examples. So when we talk about two dimension, about high social status and low social status on the x-axis. How about Y? Y is going to be traditionals and the modern. If you are for old fashioned, you're going to be on the top, but modern one is going to be on the, the bottom. So why we need to concern? Because actually it can present how social class affects to the product that you're going to use. So they said, according to this study, they have the conclusion on if you classify yourselves as the high social class and the modern preference, the modern people. So on the blue box, on the green box, the green letter box, so they said, if you link with high social class and the modern style, you tend to use the abstract painting, sculptures, and modern furniture. So you are in the modern type, so you can use like the product like that. But if you old fashioned, if you love to have something in the past, and you classify yourself as the low status, not quite high, the thing that you're gonna use is religious object, artificial flower, and still life portrait, like the pictures of the fruit and vegetable that is gonna stand in the table, and then they draw it. So the different preference, different products, and this is how social class link to different places on the product preference. Let's say one more thing for the taste culture is actually when you talk about taste culture, they're gonna have the code. Code is actually the concept and terms that they keep it. So they said The code is actually the way the consumer express and interpret the meaning. For example, the code for the teenagers right now might be they use some products just for function. They will not buy the products for luxuries because they want to save the money and they have more reason for purchasing. They do not think about the beauty. They need to think about the function. Like that's one. They said, allow marketers to communicate the market using the concept and terms to understand and appreciate. So if you understand them with the code that they have in each group or in that generation, you can serve the product or service that they might prefer. Then there are two types of the code that we can talk in this class. First one is restrict code, the code that focus on the content of the object, not concerned about relationship of the objects at present. But elaborated code is more complex and then you concern about interrelationship between object presence, activities, and to feature reward. So if you concern just for the object in terms of the content, it is the restrict code. But elaborated code, that means you concern something more in terms of the present activity to the future. Then this is the things that we're waiting for. So I talk to you about the social status symbol. Sorry, status symbol. So status symbol is actually the product that you use to represent who you are. So they said it status symbol trained to normally people evaluate the other people as the professional's accomplishment, appearance, or materials well-being. Sorry, which means normally you judge the people according to something. In this case, it's going to be the professional accomplishment, how you success in the society, appearance, the look, the materials that you use, the product that you use. They said, what matter is having more wealth and fame than others. So the key point is they would like to present that you are better or richer or more famous than the other people. That is reason why they're gonna use some product to represent their standing. So in Western culture, we have this sentence which is who he who died with the most toy win. So this actually linked to the materialism, which is accumulate for the product or accumulate the money for achievement. They concern something like that. So again, status symbol is the product that you use for represent who you are and make the other people judge you. So mostly it's going to present that you are richer, that you are better, and you are more famous than the other people. So, but sometimes status symbol can be concerned as the status seeking. Status symbol is the symbol for making status. The same thing. Status seeking is the motivation to obtain the product that let you know you made it. For example, this is the wedding rings or engagement ring actually. So this is the technique that marketers use for making a guys would like to purchase the engagement ring to the women. They said because you are the one. So that's mean you feel like you need to buy the engagement ring to your girlfriend because she is the special one. And we need to let the other people know that you have someone to talk to. Like you have some relationship with the other people. Okay. So they said luxury items like diamond engagement ring are valued as the status symbol in the world over. So it's actually like when you have the wedding rings, you need to have the diamond and gold because it's actually the status symbol that you get married. Okay. But not all times people think the same thing. They said sometimes sometimes they don't like status symbol because status symbol is going to be very bad things. It's actually the materialism. So we have some people who ban or who don't agree with that one. We call parody display. So parody display is actually the opposite side from the status symbol. They said they avoiding status symbol. So the things that they're gonna do like wearing the ripped jeans, the jeans that have some part that is torn, like not perfect jeans, some holes like that. So why they did that? Because they don't want to see to be the person who used always dressed neatly or perfect dress like that. Or how about sport utility vehicle or SUV? If you have the sport car, that is status symbol. But if you use SUV, because you're concerned about the function, SUV can do many things because the utility vehicle. That's mean they're gonna have many function. So they're concerned about function more than just beauty. Last one, red wing boots. So this is the leather boot, but this is more sturdy, like more endo, like they can last for a long time and they can protect your feet from many other danger because it's made from the materials that hard enough to protect your feet. It's not like just very expensive leather shoes that you use for party or just for the special occasion. So party display, again, it's actually they concerned about the function more than just beauty. But the last thing that we need to concern for this chapter is the problem on how you classify yourself in the social class or how you can classify the other people for the social class. The first one, the way that they always do is we classify the social class, but we ignore the status inconsistency. Like sometimes your status is not stable. Sometimes it can change, or sometimes it can move up and down. Ignore the intergeneration mobilities. That's mean normal social class. Be concerned that it's going to be stable. It's going to be the same. Like doctor family going to be keeping doctor family. No, it's not always like that. Ignore the subjective social class. It's actually like you think about yourself and actually who you are in the social class. Some people think you are the high society class, but actually you are the middle class like that. Ignore consumer aspirational to change the social class standing. Sometimes general social class segmentation, we just think, oh, this is the class that you are in. But sometimes people want to move upward. I'm quite sure that many people want to move downward, but mostly gonna move up because it's more money, it's more fame, it's more respect. So that's it. Some many times social class segmentation just ignore the consumer aspiration to change because they think people will change, but actually it can be happen. Ignore the social status of working wife. For now, many people work, especially for the women. Women work outside, women work for the future. So social class of the working wife can change the family social class or the husband social class too. So they said marketers fail to use a social class information as effectively as we just talked. So in conclusion, because when you want to see how you're going to spend the money, it's not just personal condition. It's not just the decision making about yourself. It's need to think about the social condition, which is the social class and income. That might affect directly to the money that you're going to spend. And then we group the people in the same social class because we think they're gonna have the same. And it's trained to be like that too. In terms of the same preference, the same items, the same product that they're going to use. Last one, a person decides to make a statement about the social class that influence how he or she gonna like or dislike. That's essentially the status symbol. If you classify yourselves that you are high society class, you might not want to eat the food like street food. You're gonna eat with the very expensive restaurant because it's represent who you are, and you need to make sure that the other people who's seeing or keep an eye on you gonna know that you are rich people. So that is the statement that you're gonna give to the other people. So I finished this chapter already. So this chapter is not quite long, but some details that you need to understand more. So please review that again and let me know if you need some help. So this actually on Songkran Festival. So we will have no quiz for chapter 10 yet, but we're gonna do it after Songkran. Okay, so thank you so much for watching and keep yourself safe with this pandemic. So be careful and be safe. Thank you so much.